Forget everything you thought you knew about the deep ocean. Scientists were stunned when a deep-sea submarine emerged with undeniable evidence of a colossal, unknown creature. Was this the work of a mythical beast, or something far more terrifying and real that humanity has yet to truly grasp? Join us as we explore 15 peculiar discoveries that deep-sea divers discovered that no one was supposed to see. Number 15. UFO in Indian Ocean. We always look up in the sky in search of UFOs, but what if we've been looking in the wrong direction all along? Could the answers to some of the biggest mysteries actually be hidden in the deep, dark waters of the ocean? That happens to be the case with a bizarre alien creature that was recently caught on camera transforming into a completely new beast at a depth of 3,700 feet underwater. The video of this strange being was reportedly recorded by a remotely operated vehicle, ROV, in the Indian Ocean off the east coast of Africa. The footage shows the creature floating along before suddenly morphing into another shape, supposedly in response to ROV thrusters. Many people were stunned by the creature's unusual appearance, with some calling it the most alien-looking creature they've ever seen. Some viewers speculated that the creature might be a comb jelly, a unique species with black pigmentation that helps it to camouflage with its environment. Comb jellies are voracious predators that can expand their stomachs to hold prey nearly half their own size. It's amazing to think that there are still so many creatures living in the deep, dark depths of the ocean that we have never seen before. With advances in technology and exploration, we may continue to uncover new and bizarre creatures that challenge our perceptions of life on this planet. Who knows what other mysteries lie hidden beneath the waves? Okay, alright. Number 14. Pablo Escobar plane. The last remaining evidence of a notorious drug smuggling operation of Pablo Escobar sits peacefully on the sandbanks just off Norman's Cay. This plane was part of an illicit and perilous world of drug smuggling that the infamous kingpin once operated in during the 1970s and 80s. Norman's Cay was a key location for drug smuggling, and Pablo Escobar was one of the many smugglers who used the island to refuel their planes and transport their illegal cargo. The plane, which is a World War II-era aircraft, is believed to have been carrying cocaine when it crashed into the shallow waters off Norman's Cay in 1980. The passengers managed to rescue their cargo before swimming to safety, but the wreck of the plane has remained as a haunting symbol of the dangerous and deadly world of drug smuggling. Today, the wreck has become an artificial reef, attracting a variety of marine life. Divers can explore the wreckage up close and witness firsthand the damage caused by the crash. The location of the wreck just off the south side of Norman's Cay is easily accessible, but the dive is not for beginners. The shallow water and strong currents make it a challenging but rewarding dive for experienced divers. Number 13. Mysterious alien holes in the bottom of the ocean. Recently, mysterious trail marks were discovered in the depths of the ocean. These holes look like trail markings, but there's a problem, and a big one. How could they have been made at such depths with such precision? The answer is unknown, but some are speculating that they may be the work of aliens. Scientists are puzzled by the strange markings and have been trying to figure out what could have caused them. Deep-sea robots first captured the patterns while scanning a remote section of the seabed, and the footage left even veteran researchers speechless. The trails stretch for long distances, curving and looping in ways that seem almost deliberate. In some places, the marks suddenly change direction as if whatever made them was responding to something unseen. No signs of sediment slides or natural scouring appear around them, making the formations stand out even more. The deeper scientists looked, the stranger the formations seemed, almost like a coded message written into the ocean floor. Some researchers quietly admit that they have never seen anything quite like it before. The possibility that these trails were created by an intelligent process has made the mystery even more unsettling. Each new image only adds to the sense that something unusual is moving through the darkness below. Some theories suggest that they might be the result of underwater volcanic activity or the movement of tectonic plates. However, these explanations seem unlikely as they do not account for the intricate patterns of the trail marks. Another idea is that the marks were created by some kind of underwater creature that we have not yet discovered. This idea is intriguing, but it still does not explain the precision and uniformity of the trail marks. Could it be that these markings are evidence of extraterrestrial life? While it's a far-fetched idea, it cannot be completely dismissed. After all, the depths of the ocean remain one of the most unexplored areas on our planet, and we have barely scratched the surface of what lies beneath. Number 12. Brinnacles. the finger of death. You might have heard of the phrase finger of death from storybooks, where a powerful being can simply touch something with their finger and it will die instantly. But now it's time for you to witness a real-life phenomenon that's just as fascinating and deadly, the ice finger of death. Thanks to some breathtaking footage captured by researchers, we are now able to observe the formation of these eerie, finger-like structures known as brinnicles. These structures are created when salt water leaks out of cracks in floating sea ice and freezes the surrounding seawater, creating a downward-growing column of ice that resembles a finger. While they may look delicate and otherworldly, brinnicles are actually quite deadly for nearby sea creatures. As they grow and reach the seafloor, they can potentially trap and freeze unsuspecting animals like sea urchins and starfish, creating what scientists call black pools of death. Despite being aware of the existence of brinnicles since the 1960s, scientists have had very little opportunity to observe them in real time, making this footage all the more special. The scientific study of brinnicles is still in its early stages, and there is much to learn about these fascinating and deadly structures. So the next time you hear the phrase, finger of death, remember that there's more to it than just a storybook fantasy. Now it's time for today's topic. In March 2025, a U.S. Navy Virginia-class submarine surfaced near San Diego, listing badly as waves slammed against its torn hull. Crew members were rushed ashore after sonar logs revealed something unbelievable. An enormous, fast-moving biological mass had wrapped around the vessel nearly 2,000 feet below the surface. Navy technicians later found deep suction scars and organic residue embedded in the steel, unlike anything from a collision or mine. Just hours earlier, the sub had been tracking strange movements along the Mendocino Fracture Zone, a deep-sea trench known for unexplained sonar ghosts. Satellite images showed a dark shape trailing the crippled submarine as it surfaced. Officials called it equipment failure, but classified footage suggests a colossal octopus-like creature attacked and tried to drag the submarine into the abyss. Number 11. Deep-sea noises of an earthquake. Imagine being deep underwater, exploring the sea life around you, when suddenly you start hearing strange noises coming from the ground beneath you. A diver was in the water when the ground started shaking and then heard the sounds of the earth moving. He quickly realized that this was an earthquake, which can be quite common in certain areas of the ocean. This particular earthquake was a magnitude 6.1 and occurred at a depth of 18 kilometers. The vibrations rippled through the seabed like a giant drum being struck, sending low, thunderous pulses through the surrounding water. Fish scattered in every direction, reacting before the diver could even process what was happening. Tiny clouds of sediment lifted from the ocean floor, turning the clear water into a drifting haze. For a moment, it felt as though the entire ocean was breathing, expanding and contracting with each distant rumble. The diver later described the sound as a deep groan, like metal bending far below his feet. Even his equipment seemed to hum in response to the invisible waves of energy passing through. It was both terrifying and mesmerizing, a reminder of how alive and restless the planet truly is. Experiences like this are so rare that most divers never realize earthquakes can be heard, not just felt, beneath the sea. But what causes these sounds to be heard underwater during an earthquake? The answer lies in the way the sound travels through water. Sound travels faster and farther in water than it does in the air, which means that even small movements in the Earth's crust can create sound waves that travel through the water and are audible to divers. These underwater earthquake sounds can be quite eerie and disorienting, almost like being tapped on the side of a fish tank. In fact, that is how a goldfish feels when you tap on the tank. It's not like the sprockets of some kind of a wheel of a trawl, right? Nobody's going to be trawling way down here. Number 10. Hug from a giant octopus. We meet our friends and loved ones with a hug, but it is safe to say that receiving a hug from a giant Pacific octopus is not something we expect. But for British Columbia scuba diver Andrea Humphreys, that's exactly what happened. Humphreys had a mind-blowing encounter with the octopus while diving in 3-meter deep water off Campbell River on Vancouver Island. The octopus crawled towards Humphreys' friend, who had never seen one before. Then it greeted Humphreys with a full-body hug and a kiss, lip to tentacle. Humphreys estimated its size at more than 3 meters tentacle to tentacle, with a body bigger than a basketball. Humphreys has been diving for 12 years and has done more than 675 dives around the world. She describes her interaction with the octopus as the experience of a lifetime. She captured the whole interaction on video, complete with her squeals of excitement. Spectacles around my arm, and I could feel the gripping. Such close interaction with divers is rare from a giant Pacific octopus, which scientists rank as highly intelligent. Humphreys hopes that her story of her encounter raises awareness of the beauty of marine life and she looks forward to revisiting the same diving site, hoping to find the octopus again to renew their acquaintance. British Columbia's waters are home to bizarre and fascinating creatures, and Humphreys wants to raise awareness about local marine life. If you've ever encountered any bizarre creatures, let us know in the comments below. Number 9. Rare phantom jellyfish. Have you ever heard of a ghostly giant that roams the depths of the ocean? Meet the giant phantom jellyfish, a creature so rare that it's only been observed about 100 times since scientists first discovered it in 1899. This deep-sea creature is a sight to behold, with a bell that's more than 3.3 feet across and 4 ribbon-like mouth arms that can grow to be more than 33 feet long. It's like a crimson-hued balloon with eerie tentacles billowing behind it. Despite thousands of dives in Monterey Bay, this giant phantom jellyfish has only been observed in the wild 9 times by scientists. That's because these creatures live in the bathypelagic zone, a midnight world 21,900 feet below the surface where light doesn't penetrate. Imagine the immense water pressure at these depths, 5,800 pounds per square inch and up, to crush most creatures. But not the giant phantom jellyfish. Their soft, gelatinous bodies are uniquely adapted to absorb the pressure and keep them afloat. Now imagine a deep-water robot humming through the twilight zone of Monterey Bay, capturing rare footage of this ghostly giant. That's exactly what happened when a team from Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute managed to capture video of the giant phantom jellyfish. The footage shows the jellyfish floating serenely through the depths, its tentacles trailing behind it like a graceful dance. It's hard not to be fascinated by the giant phantom jellyfish, a creature so rare and mysterious that it's like something out of a science fiction movie. This makes us wonder what other incredible creatures are lurking in the depths, waiting to be uncovered. Number 8. Where 2 continents drift apart. Silfra is the point where east and west meet, and it's a truly mesmerizing and otherworldly place that you won't want to miss. Picture yourself submerged in crystal-clear waters, surrounded by vibrant fish and other marine creatures, as you explore a landscape of caves and mountains unlike any other on the planet. The Silfra Crack is located within Iceland's Thingvellir National Park, where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates meet, creating the only place on Earth where you can swim or snorkel between 2 continents. This geological wonder was formed during a major earthquake in 1789 and was later filled with meltwater from the nearby Langjökull Glacier, which gives it an enchanting and striking silvery appearance. The underwater world of Silfra is a marvel that can only be fully appreciated by diving or snorkeling, and it is an experience you'll never forget. As you explore the depths of Silfra, you'll encounter jaw-dropping rock formations that are simply breathtaking. The deep Silfra Crack is an absolute must-see, where you can have your photograph taken between 2 tectonic plates. The majestic Silver Hall is another highlight, while Silfra Cathedral's deep blue expanse will leave you speechless. And Silfra Lagoon is known for its incredible underwater visibility. It is also home to an array of colorful marine algae, including the famous troll hair, which adds to the magical atmosphere of this underwater world. It's no wonder that Silfra has been ranked as one of the top 10 diving sites in the world by the Professional Association of Diving Instructors, thanks to its vibrant colors and stunning scenery. Number 7. Giant creepy pyrosome. Say hello to a sea worm, but not just any sea worm, a giant pyrosome that looks like it belongs in science fiction. Pyrosomes may look like translucent wind socks, but they are actually a group of tiny creatures called zooids that work together to form a free-floating colony. These bizarre, glowing creatures are like nothing you've ever seen before, and they can grow to be over 26 feet long. One was spotted off the coast of New Zealand, and the lucky divers had a chance to swim around it and observe its intricate details up close. The divers were amazed by what they saw, hundreds of thousands of tiny creatures filtering food through their bodies and catching phytoplankton, bacteria, and even poop particles. Pyrosomes are an important food source for many sea creatures, including spiny lobsters and turtles. Predators can cling to their tubes for weeks and dine on their bodies, and in turn, these creatures can afford to take their time and extract all the nutrients they need from the pyrosomes. Aside from their practical uses, pyrosomes are also a sight to behold. Their gelatinous, tubular bodies glow with natural bioluminescence, which is where they get their name. And while they can be as small as a centimeter, they can also grow to be as big as the one you are watching right now. But who knows, there may be more gigantic ones out there. It's clear that there is still so much to learn about these mysterious creatures. But one thing is for sure, they are fascinating to watch and observe. And for those of us who may not have a chance to swim with a giant pyrosome, we can still marvel at their beauty and wonder from afar. Number 6. Underwater Museum. Cancun is not only famous for its beautiful beaches and crystal clear waters, but it's also home to the world's only underwater art museum, the Musa, With over 500 sculptures nestled in the turquoise waters, this museum is one of a kind. Founded in 2009 by a group of visionaries, including the immensely talented British artist Jason Taylor, Musa boasts a collection of unique sculptures that blend art and marine conservation. From surreal human figures to thought-provoking monuments, each sculpture has a story to tell. Note that these beautiful statues have corals growing on them. One of the most iconic pieces in the collection is the Banker, a haunting reminder of corporate greed. This sculpture depicts a businessman in a suit and tie frozen in time as he sits at his desk surrounded by sea life. Another popular sculpture is La Musa dell'Oceano, a serene human figure sitting cross-legged on the ocean floor, surrounded by vibrant coral and marine life. But that's just the beginning. The museum boasts an incredible variety of sculptures, ranging from whimsical to thought-provoking. From a VW beetle covered in colorful coral to a giant concrete head, you never know what you'll discover in this underwater gallery. Number 5. Underwater River in Mexico. Just south of Tulum, Mexico, lies a hidden gem that will take your breath away, Cenote Angelita. As you descend into the depths of the water-filled cave, you'll discover a mind-bending surprise, an underwater river that flows under the ocean. That's right, you heard it correctly, an actual river beneath the waves. But how is this even possible, you might wonder? Well, it's all thanks to the magic of science. When limestone bedrock collapses, it creates a pit that fills with a mix of fresh groundwater and salt water. Over time, as organic matter decomposes, it forms a cloud of hydrogen sulfide that separates the fresh water from the salt water below, creating a surreal underwater river. Divers who enter this eerie layer describe it as swimming through a fog bank, where visibility drops to nearly zero and the sensation of movement becomes strangely muffled. For a few disorienting seconds, it feels as if gravity has vanished and the diver is floating between two different worlds. Shafts of sunlight pierce the upper fresh water, while the darker salt water below absorbs the light, making the boundary look like a glowing horizon. Some explorers say the river looks so solid that it seems possible to walk across it like a bridge. Tiny particles drift slowly within the cloud, giving the illusion that the river is actually flowing, even though it is completely still. The effect is so convincing that first-time visitors often forget they are witnessing a chemical boundary rather than a true stream. It is this haunting visual trick that has made Cenote Angelita famous among cave divers and underwater photographers alike. Every descent into this hidden river feels like stepping into a scene from a science fiction film. As you explore the depths of the Cenote Angelita River, you'll be amazed by its beauty and mystery. With depths reaching over 100 meters, the river is layered with alternating fresh and saline water, creating an otherworldly landscape that's unlike anything you've ever seen. And if that's not enough to leave you awestruck, just think of the colorful foliage and branches of the trees that float only along the river's banks. Their vibrant hues and delicate beauty set against the weight of the water make for an unforgettable sight. Number 4. Train and cargo wreck. Famous shipwrecks are a common theme in history, but what we're about to show you is something truly unique, a train wreck in the water. The St. Thomas train wreck is a fascinating story of a catastrophic event that occurred during World War I. On December 2, 1917, a train carrying heavy artillery shells and other supplies derailed and plunged into a nearby canal in the town of St. Thomas. The train was carrying over 200 tons of explosives, and the weight of the shells caused it to sink to the bottom of the canal. The incident was catastrophic, causing a massive explosion that destroyed the town and killed over 100 people. But what makes the St. Thomas train wreck so significant? For one, it has remained shrouded in mystery, with various theories and speculations surrounding the cause of the derailment. Some believe it was sabotage, while others think it was an accident caused by faulty tracks. Also, the impact on the surrounding town was immense, with many lives lost and the destruction of homes and buildings. The wreckage of the train remains at the bottom of the canal to this day, a haunting reminder of the destructive power of war and the toll that it takes on human lives. Despite the tragedy that occurred, the St. Thomas train wreck has become a popular spot for diverse and history enthusiasts. The twisted metal and rusted train cars are a haunting and eerie sight, providing a glimpse into the past and what happened on that fateful day in 1917. It appears to be holding on to the subsea structure. It may just be a reflex. Number 3. SS Thistlegorm World War II wreck with treasure. Ever wanted to explore the sea to find hidden treasure? Well, the sinking of the SS Thistlegorm is a story that is just as interesting as any pirate tale. During World War II, the Thistlegorm was a vital cargo ship transporting essential supplies such as weapons, vehicles, ammunition, and uniforms to the British troops in the North African theater. However, The ship never made it to its final destination of Alexandria on Egypt's northern coast, as a collision in the Suez Canal caused it to be moored at a safe anchorage off the southern tip of the Sinai Peninsula. On the night of October 5, 1941, the ship's captain, William Ellis, returned to his cabin hopeful that he might receive an early order to ship out. Unbeknownst to the crew, enemy reconnaissance planes had already marked their quiet anchorage as a perfect target. The ship sat heavily loaded, its holds packed so tightly with explosives and fuel that even a small spark could spell disaster. Sailors were resting, writing letters, or simply trying to catch some sleep, unaware that their fate was closing in from above. The calm Red Sea waters reflected the moonlight, making the Thistlegorm's silhouette stand out against the dark waves. Somewhere high in the sky, engines hummed, drawing closer with deadly intent. In those final peaceful moments, no one on board could have imagined how violently the night would be torn apart. History was about to be rewritten in a matter of seconds. The Thistlegorm was moments away from becoming a ghost ship. However, in the early hours of October 6, two German Heinkel He-111 bombers appeared in the sky above the Thistlegorm. The crew had no warning before two bombs hit the ship, causing a massive explosion that lit up the sky for miles around. The ship sank quickly, taking 9 crew members with it. The wreckage of the Thistlegorm lay undiscovered for many years until the famous underwater explorer Jacques Cousteau found it in the 1950s. However, the location of the wreckage was lost once again until the 1990s, when it was rediscovered due to the increasing popularity of diving in the Red Sea. Today, the SS Thistlegorm is one of the most visited wrecks in the Red Sea, and divers can explore the ship's remains, including its cargo of trucks, motorcycles, and even train parts. Number 2. Deep-sea brine pool. The deep-sea brine pool, also known as the Jacuzzi of Despair, is a deep-sea basin filled with extremely salty water that is denser than the surrounding seawater. This results in the formation of a pool of brine that is completely isolated from the surrounding environment. The most interesting aspect of the deep-sea brine pool is the unique ecosystem that develops within it. The extreme conditions of the pool, including high salinity, high pressure, and low oxygen levels, create an environment that is completely different from the surrounding ocean. Yeah, but let's do the full survey around the perimeter. Robotic submersibles glide along the edge, their lights revealing a shimmering boundary where normal seawater meets the lethal brine. Anything that drifts across that invisible line sinks instantly, as if gravity itself becomes stronger inside the pool. Small crabs and fish sometimes wander too close, only to become motionless as the dense liquid overwhelms them. Over time, their bodies remain preserved on the brine's surface, forming an eerie ring that looks like a graveyard beneath the waves. Scientists watching from the control room describe it as a frozen moment, where life pauses instead of decaying. The brine reflects the sub's lights like polished glass, making it difficult to tell where water ends and the pool begins. Every pass around the perimeter reveals new shapes and shadows trapped along the edge. It is both a natural wonder and a stark reminder of how hostile parts of the deep ocean can be. Despite these harsh conditions, the pool is believed to be home to a variety of creatures, including bacteria, shrimp, and other invertebrates. Some scientists believe that the bacteria found in the pool may be capable of converting sulfur into energy, while others believe that the creatures have developed special adaptations to survive in the harsh environment. But the real mystery is how they formed in the first place. Some scientists believe that the pool may have formed as a result of a salt dome collapsing, while others believe that it may be the result of an ancient meteor impact. Despite decades of research, the exact cause of the pool's formation remains a mystery. Number 1. Man surviving 3 days in a sunken ship. Some stories touch your heart and make you marvel at the unbelievable things that have happened to people, and this is one of them. Meet Harrison O'Keefe, a man who survived an extraordinary ordeal that would have claimed the lives of many. In 2013, O'Keefe was working as a cook on a Nigerian tugboat that was stabilizing an oil tanker. The boat had a crew of 12 people when an ocean swell suddenly struck the boat, causing it to capsize and sink into the depths of the ocean. Tragically, the entire crew except for O'Keefe was asleep in their locked rooms when the incident occurred. O'Keefe, who was on the toilet at the time, was tossed around the sinking ship, but eventually found himself in an air pocket after the boat settled at the bottom of the ocean. With no food or water and limited air, he spent the next 60 hours waiting for rescue. Remarkably, he was rescued by a diving crew that was sent to collect the bodies from the shipwreck. They found him after almost 60 hours of being submerged. They captured the entire rescue on camera, and the footage is truly amazing. During his time in the air pocket, he managed to find 2 mattresses to stack on top of each other, which kept him above the rising water. If he had been claustrophobic or scared of deep water, his survival would have been much less likely. His calmness and composure during the ordeal saved his life. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.